Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we are back on the Imola car, which has now been aptly named the Angry Caneri, and to be fair, it does give me some anger issues. It's been a couple of weeks since the first video that was done on this car, so I've been busy collecting some bits and pieces, and again, like most people like yourselves and me, don't have loads of money in the bank, so it's a case of just trying to chip away at the projects as you can go along. So we'll get into what I've been looking at doing, what the plan is now in terms of trying to fix it or just completely swap it all out. So yeah, let's have a look. So in terms of the actual engine itself, it doesn't run, which we know that anyway. So try turning it over and it sounds actually quite nice. It sounds like there's plenty of compression there. I'm not a mechanic at all. It's just a hobby for me, as you well know. But it's just, I don't know. So I did try something because I thought, well, I don't want to spend too much money trying to fact find why this engine is not running because it's above my expertise, so therefore it would cost investment to pay someone to check it, and it's just something I couldn't do. So I thought, right, okay, well, because of the flashing light on the dashboard, I will put a video of that up now. So before making the decision to pull out the engine, I suggested try and get an MO delete out of it. So see if that saves it. So just going through the processes now of trying to communicate with the car. There we go. Now of course the aim of it is, because of the flashing light, which I'll put a picture of that up now, it's either the battery was dead in the key, so change the battery, it's not that, but there's a little chip inside the key that communicates with the immobilizer, so the car doesn't seem to like the key. Could it be an easy fix? Don't know, but it's worth a go. What, 2 hours. The good news was that the key for the car is locked to the car, so that was good. But then he thought, well, he thinks you need to have the CCM present in the car in order to be able to access the car in order to do that. So anyway, so that ended up being a cost of sort of £70 to do that, and with no result. It's not his fault. So I don't want to throw any more money at it. So I have bought a sort of vehicle. It runs, it drives, it's a 180, so that's just going to be a case of plug and play. Not that easy, I wish it was. So I'm going to take this engine out. The new one is a 180 engine. It runs, it drives, but it's got a 5-speed gearbox, so I'm going to keep the 6-speed gearbox out of this one, and then this engine is just going to go to scrap. I mean, I think that somebody could actually repair it or whatever, but I don't think anybody's going to want to buy a 180 engine. Who knows, you never know, but we'll see. So now it's a case of taking all the front end off, and I've been told a couple of ways to do it. Either drop the engine through the bottom, but I think the sensible option for me here, because of the type of workspace I have, it's not really a workspace, is to take off the front end, because I need to take off the bumper anyway, and pull it out from the front. So yeah, let's get taking it apart. So that's the wheel off. I've got 4 bolts holding that wheel in on the passenger side at the minute. So because we're taking the bumper off, get this inner liner off, get the 2 bolts out, because then at least that's done as well. Alright, so the wheel liner's loose. Here is the root cause of all evil. See that rust? That's because that was sat there. So all this does is, when your water drains from down there, that just is a sponge. So it literally stays soaking wet, and it stays right behind there. So every TT gets the same problem here. So if you haven't already done it, get outside, jack up your car and get rid of that. Save you plenty of pain and suffering later on in life. If you haven't already done it, as I say, get it done. So we've now got access to the inside of here. Oh, that is a bit on the crusty side. So look. A bit surface rust, that's not too bad. But this bit, that looks a bit more, yeah, crusted. It's a little bit. Oh well, we'll have a better look when the wing comes off anyway, but the rest of it seems to be surface rust. So yeah, that needs a good clean. What up here? What's that? same there, surface is good. So get it cleaned up, but that's not the focus. So let's get these nuts off. See one there, and there's another one hidden in behind there. Now these OEM bolts, if you have those on your bumper, don't lose them. You can't find them anywhere. So that's separated from there, so we'll get this wheel put back on. So this project is brought to you by sponsored and supported by the TT shop in Blackburn. They supply all second-hand parts for Mark 1 and also now Mark 2 vehicles as well. So if you're looking for wings, they've got plenty of those in stock in all a variety of colours, all very varying conditions. So ones that you can prepare yourself, some that are ready for paint. If you're looking for engines, gearboxes, new glass for your broken doors, right the way through to door cards, rad packs, an abundance of transfer boxes, more gearboxes, a blowing exhaust or a downpipe. Or if simply you just want to buy a car that runs, that you want to do as a project, they also have vehicles available to do that as well. So get in touch with them. I'll put a link in the description for the TT shop in Blackburn, and also you will receive a 10% discount if you use the code Imola10, which is here somewhere. So get in touch. That discount only applies to actual parts, not postage and packaging. So obviously if you're going to take an engine, then that'll be a separate charge. But get in touch with the guys down at the TT shop Blackburn, and they will be more than happy to assist you with your requirements, whether that be used parts or just a car to work with. Thank you very much to the TT shop Blackburn for supporting and sponsoring this project. Now, back to the car. Boot lid has been kindly donated by the TT shop Blackburn for the project. So as you can see here, that's clean, no rust. I mean, obviously it's going to get painted, but to compare it to the old one. So thanks to them for donating that, so we can get that fitted on the car for the time being. So this is the Donaville vehicle that has been purchased from the TT shop Blackburn. As you can see, it's just, there's a lot of things on it that are much better than are on the Imola one. So basic things like the discs and calipers on the back there, they're a lot cleaner. They haven't got 9 years worth of rust. The wheels look in better shape. Some of this is just mix and match and choose which is which. Paint cover, I mean, obviously it came with a boot lid, a red one. So as we saw in the last video, the yellow one is absolutely rotten. So I'm just going to bolt this back onto this one. So then that can go to scrap once it's been utilized. The interior carpet, again, is a lot better than the one that's in the Imola one, so I'll be taking that out. And then if we look at the front brakes, you can see they're a lot cleaner as well if we do a comparison. So you can see how scabby they are on the Imola one. So again, we'll be swapping the calipers and the discs that came on the donor vehicle. I'm still having problems with these 3 bolts, because yeah, I've tried chopping them. It's funny because the center's rusted out on them, but the bolt underneath is typical German engineering, so it's just not shifting at all. I might just, because I've got paint, I might just rip the bumper off, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. One is another 180 turbo, but this one has a 5-speed box. So this one, as the TT shop Blackburn are sponsoring the video, gave me a very, very good price on this running shell. So it starts and drives. So in theory, it's a case of getting the engine out, because it's a 5-speed gearbox, is utilizing the 6-speed gearbox that's already in the Imola car, and now it's just a case of a tear down. So I've already made a start. I've disconnected the gearbox. I made a schoolboy error in cutting the wrong ECU, and I'll get someone to sort that out. But it's just carry on getting things disconnected and get it ready to be lifted out. So next thing is the slam panel. So I've got my new tool. I've swapped the key over. It's still not flicking out as good, but that's the original key for this barrel in this car. This whole plastic is from the donor car. So you can take out that little screw which is in behind the badge, and then you can just take out that. So that's the key fob that's coded to that engine. Now I'll just take out the dashpod now. Press that out. We've got a problem. Because the new clocks have 3 slots. I'm not sure what difference that makes. Yeah, France. Yeah, that's a question for Sean Blanco, that. Interesting. So that's the drive shaft bolts loosened. No, I didn't do them with a ratchet, much as I'd like to think so. I'm going to continue to remove these bolts, and we'll move on to the next bit. And that is one drive shaft undone. So we've got the passenger side drive shaft disconnected from the gearbox. That just needs a pull. Disconnected the selector off. This front panel is all but off. Just need to disconnect the coolant hoses and the intercooler down there. Couple of sensors and things to disconnect for the engine, I think. There's a mount under there somewhere, but I think that's not far off ready to come out, to be honest, which is good news. I still need to find a way as to how I'm going to tackle those three, because nothing's working. But yeah, so it'll be a case of getting that out as well. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because, as I say, those bolts there. So in terms of my working theory, the theory was good. Just in practice, these things are never as straightforward as they seem, really. So I need to speak to Sean Blanco to find out what difference that third slot in the back of the clocks does, because obviously this is a 2001, the Imola. The donor vehicle is a 2003. Does that make a massive difference? It probably does, but to someone like me, not a clue. Whether or not that's just a case of getting clocks that specifically between both cars, I don't know. So I'm going to call it a day for now, get the stuff packed away, and then crack on again tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.